Okay, hey everybody, it's me. Yeah, it's a late one again. I'm sorry. Happens when you have a job. You get tired and it just takes over you and what have you. Anyway, Jujutsu Kaisen, Culling Games, episode 11, Tokyo Colony, number 1, part 5. Now, this was insane because not only did we get the conclusion of Megumi's fight with Reggie, we got what was coming. So basically, towards the end of the episode, we have Megumi. He kills Reggie, basically. And he finds that woman again. And it seems like he's going to attack her. And then he hears his sister's voice, which is weird. Well, he doesn't. He walks off, and he collapses because he just had a fight. And out of nowhere, I forgot to talk about this first before we get into what happened in the fight. Out of nowhere, Angel comes out. Now, there's more to the episode than that, but let's focus on what happened in the fight. So, essentially, it was his domain expansion. It was still incomplete, according to what they were saying in the episode. Now they have the narrator explaining things. So, what this became was literally, this was an ass whooping. Like, he took it to Reggie to extremely well, and he was beating the shit out of him until the realization came into play what this was. So, what was happening was that because Reggie's got these receipts. Any item that Reggie pulled out and sank into the shadow was added weight onto Megumi. That's why he was kneeled over to prevent the weight from killing him. However, Megumi had launched his elephant, which added to that weight to Reggie. And Reggie was about to wing out one of his receipts. We hear something snap, which I think was his leg. And he sinks into the shadow. Now, he's able to get out of this by controlling, because the receipts, he can do a lot of things with this curse technique, this whole receipt thing. He can command the objects that come from the receipts to like rise up and such. So that's what he does. And he attempts to throw a house. That's what it is. He throws a house on Megumi. However, that doesn't work out. Because what ends up happening, they both fall through the shadow and into the bottom area, which is gone. There's no floor. It goes right into a pool. And then he's out of Shinigami Megumi. He's out of what he does. And Reggie can't use his receipts because he's wet. So, basically just turned it into a fist fight. However, I'm not noticed by anyone. Apparently, Megumi still had his dog. And he cuts Reggie from like his neck to his shoulder, and it's like, there's a big gap here. And it looks like he's done. So Megumi wants to fight. Now, Reggie gives his points, all his points, to Megumi. He has kind of a foreboding uh, thing about the fool who dies and shit. Which, when I heard that, I was like, foreshadowing? Nevertheless, Megumi wins. He dies. He walks off. We also get the comedian. They say something in this episode that made me face pop. Gojo would struggle against the comedian. But it makes sense because he's a comedian and his that's how his curse technique is the way he is. So, whatever. So that guy he was fighting with the explosions, he just leaves. He finds out that Reggie's dead. Now, like I said, we get the introduction of Megumi. At first, I thought this was Yuji because it looked to me like the lighting was off. Like, it almost looked like Megumi was wearing the same shoes that Yuji wears. Regardless, he walks to the girl, hears his sister's voice, he doesn't kill her, and he leaves. Falls down, Angel comes down, and that's where we get the end of that scene. However, the episode's not over. This is a crazy episode. I don't remember their names, so my apologies. But we have this Buddhist monk sitting Indian style. We have this woman in the sky. And this other dude. And this cockroach. Who apparently Kenjaku made into a cursed beast? And these four are in the Sendona. Next week they have the episode title, and I'll find out what they specifically said. But I don't recognize what it was called. But anyway, they're basically on a stalemate until Yuta shows up, and he outright kills this old man who was sitting in the Indian style. Just kills him. Done. And he just comes in. I was like, yo. Yuta is not playing around. And then we're going to get next week's episode with Yuta against this guy and the title of this colony. Now, overall, this is my thoughts. I think the last 4 episodes of Kaisen for this season were bangers. Straight up bangers. Yuji going up against, don't worry, I'll find his name. Higuruma. Okay. Him going Higuruma. And Megumi against Reggie were straight up banger fights. And unlike last season, where people were complaining and saying the animation didn't look that very good, this season, pretty good, not too bad. Overall, I am satisfied how MAPPA handled the beginning of these Culling games. Now, obviously, there's more to come. I don't know how they're going to handle this. Because, as far as I know, there's no plans yet. I'm guessing there's a second core. That's my, if I'm honest guess, there is a second core coming. My guess, though, is fall. Because from my better judgment, I did not see it in the summer lineup, and I didn't see it for next season. So, that's my gist. It's going to happen in the fall. That's when we're going to get it. But overall, good episode. 9 out of 10. Yeah, we'll see how this is getting a high rating this season by me. Just so everyone know. It's getting a full freaking high rating. And In fact, it's really hard to really fathom. The only show this season that comes close to what Kaisen is and the other shows is probably Sentenced to Be a Hero, which I will review. That I will review. I don't know about the rest, but that I'm definitely going to review. But that's for another video. That's all I got for you guys. Bankai 922. Hopefully next week I can do this episode review on Thursday. Don't have immediate plans for the spring right now. I can only really gather it for first 2 shows, but that can change dramatically. So we'll see. This is Bankai 922. I'll catch you guys later.